video is on the Note 2 glass replacement. I've been keeping this under heat. You want to get it to about 170 degrees Celsius. Basically, there's two areas you want to watch out for. There's an LCD right here, and then the pin is right here for the pin that you use to touch the screen with. All right, so what we want to do is start lifting this up. Stay away from these two areas, and then also gently pry up down here so we don't rip the buttons. All right, so basically you want to start at one corner. It should come off as one piece. With a little bit of pressure, you'll actually see the glass start to separate from the LCD. If you can't see that, it's actually the glass is separating itself. And you have to do it slowly. Otherwise, you will break the LCD. So basically, just let it do its thing naturally without forcing it. You know, there's a big difference between replacing the glass and replacing the LCD. You know, $10 part as opposed to $180 part. What I like to do is just get it started with my Sesamo tool and then go in behind it with a playing card. Actually, what I use is a business card. And just gently, just press it in just to let the glass push away from the LCD. Just do a little bit at a time. That way, you're not really applying much pressure to the glass, and it will just naturally start to release, that glue. Here, I'm just trying to release some of that tape on the outer edge here, but you don't want to go in too far. Again, you have those cables. Getting there. About 90% done now. Get the glass off. The biggest thing that's going to help you is having that temperature, that glass to the right temperature. Usually, I've been doing enough I know by touch, but you also can use a gun, a heat gun, not a heat gun, but a infrared temperature gauge to tell you how hot that glass is. And you want it about 170 degrees. Alright, so now I'm trying to get the glass off. And I'm going to go ahead and push this to the side. You just want to take your tool and release the button here. You have to get it off the glass. And just push it back down. so we're good there. All right, now we need to take the LCD out of the frame. Also, this has two parts on it. You have the button. Then there's a piece of metal frame. Like you have to take that out, and then there's also the ear speaker metal up there. So I'll save this to the side, and we'll put that back on later. All right, I'm gonna put some more heat. Get the heat on the LCD while you're trying to get the LCD out. Now to get the LCD out, I use a playing card instead of the business card. It doesn't bend as easy, but it does have some play in it, so you don't break the LCD. Now I usually start here, as I start right above where the LCD digitizer cable is, and then I come down, but I don't go in too far because you can cut the cable there, and I'll show you when I come up later. So basically, you can see the card goes in easily, and you're gonna start to come down, but just the tip of it because you don't want to go in too far. And then as you go down, you can go in a little bit further. So we're just going to try to work it in. All right. See, it's in a little bit further now. And then once I get this going, then I'll switch to the business card because it is a little harder, but it doesn't allow you to. The edges doesn't seem to work as well. All right, see, I'm getting even further in now. So I might not even need to use the other card on this. All right, you see it's coming up now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the screws out of the back. I can turn that off now. I'm going to take the screws out. You also need to take the SIM card out. All right, all the screws are out now. Now I need to take the back framing off. And how you do that is just put your outside frame there and the inside frame. Just start going around. There's a tab right here that I had to release. There's also a tab right here that you have to release. Alright, so that's all. Now these are the two areas I was telling you about. Here, this is the LCD cable, and this is the cable for the stylus pen. It has its own little cable that controls where you touch with the pin. All right, so we need to undo that, and this. I'm gonna pull this off. There's just some tape that's holding it down. As long as you're actually with the tape, you don't have to be too gentle. Alright. You don't have to worry about anything with this right now. What we need to do now is get the actual glue off of the LCD. You see it's still glue on there. Alright. So what you're going to do is, the best way is to use some local glue remover. And toothbrush to rub it in. A little heat once in a while might help a little too. Basically, I'm just using this to loosen up this glue, and then I'll go over it with a plastic razor blade. I'll keep doing that until I'm satisfied that the glue will come off pretty easily. Alright, I'm going to use the plastic razor blade now. Start to and I'll do this, and then I'll use the local glue on it again. Local glue remover, I should say. I'm usually going to keep doing this until you, for the most part, have the glue off. If you have any scratches, anything, little scratches or marks, when we put the local glue down again, the fresh local glue, it'll hide most of that. See, it's already looking a lot cleaner. I do not recommend using a regular razor blade. I would definitely recommend using a plastic razor blade. I've tried using regular razor blades, and it usually cuts into the polarizer. All right, we're getting closer. Right now, I'll take some alcohol and clean up the screen. Yeah, you're not going to get much cleaner than that. Now let me just clean this up a little bit. All right. Now I have my number 2 mold. You can tell the top because the indentions for the cables. All right, fits in there real snug. Make sure the cables are not pressing down to cause the screen to lift up. All right, so now we just need to clean the LCD again. Basically, it's already clean. We just need to make sure there's no dust on the screen. So, you might have to clean this a couple times to make sure there's no dust on there. Dust or dirt will probably show up in that local look. All right. That's good. All right, we are ready to put the logo. I've done a lot of different formations for the Loca, and this is the way it seems to be the best way to put down the Loca. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough. And not enough, and you're going to either have bubbles or maybe at the end, you won't be able to push enough Loca out to the side. Let's see here. All right, now I have my glass. All right, I have this glass, and I'm going to save the strips I'm pulling off of it to save for later. With this kind of frame, I actually put this down by hand. Samsung up top for the top, and the key to this is to start with one side down and then go down slowly so you do not have any bubbles. If you do get a bubble, you can usually push it out, but save yourself some time and take your time. All right, so far so good. Now, if you leave this and you walk away, a lot of it will start to spread by itself, but I like to try to help it because I'm impatient. So I just use a cloth to help me spread the Loca. I use this so I just don't put any fingerprints or Loca on the front glass, just to help me from having to clean up the glass. Pretty good. All All right, now I'll do is I'll put the infrared light over top of it for 5 minutes. And then we start to put it back in the frame. All right, that's infrared light. All right, so I'll put it there. All right, what I'll do is I'll move this out of the way for 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. All right, now while that's working on curing, I'll clean this up. One, you want to make sure that where the camera eye hole is, you want to make sure that's clean. Because if it doesn't, then you'll have to take the phone apart, come from the, clean that. Just, just make sure there's no tape or residue or in there. Everything else feels good. I'm going to put the speaker back in there in the original glass. It's just the cover for the speaker. And again, just like that. And then we're going to use our frame tape on top of it. All right, here's our frame tape. You see it's going to go on like this. So when you peel this off, and so you got to put it on there straight. So I might take a couple tries. And that's how the frame tape goes on. Now we're going to take the top of the tape off, so both sides are sticky. As soon as you just pull up on, there's a little tab you pull up on, like that. And just start pulling it away. First, pull the tape up and try to hold it down so it doesn't lift it up. And you see some of the piece of tape is not up there all the way. So I'm going to try to help it out a little bit. Straight. And then a little bit before we actually put the glass down, we'll actually put some heat on this to make it even tack here. Alright, that's good for now. You have the button, and then this little metal frame that goes around the button. You need to get that off the old screen. Alright, time's up for the glass. So I'll take this off. You can see the screen goes in just like. That's the size. Now this is trash. Alright. LCD is done curing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little, that film that we took off the old glass, I'm going to use that again. And just to put it over top of the glass, just to help me get fingerprints on it and loca. We're going to clean it later, it makes it easier to clean. Alright, now that's on there. We'll take the LCD out now, and you do that just by pressing the bottom and lifting up. Okay, I'll put that to this side. Alright, now what we need to do is clean up the back of the glass. I'll start off by using some local glue remover. Just go all the way around. Depending, how hard you had to press to get the loco to go down, there'll be more glue. We didn't have to press down too hard, so it's actually the glue's not too bad spread on the back. But there will be times when you need to put a little more pressure. It just means more cleanup, but it's not too bad. And I'll do this with the local glue remover a couple times. And then I'll follow that up with some alcohol. It's 99% alcohol that we use. Alright. And then I take a dry piece of the cloth and just dry it off. And you can tell if there's anything on the glass. So it's all pretty clean now. Now I'm going to add a piece of LCD tape to the back of this LCD. I'm going to apply some heat to this to help make it a little tackier. Also, it makes it a little easier for me to take out the back of the tape. It won't be real hot, just enough to get it tacky. And then So then I'm going to try to get this up here. Alright, and then I'll put this down like that. Piece of tape overlapping, so I'm going to pull that piece of tape off. Alright, so we got our LCD tape on there. Now I'm going to put the frame underneath there just to heat it up. That'll make it easier for us to put the glass down and for it to tape to sit. It's just like a, it's like a minute. Here we also need to place the button. Make sure the button presses. Otherwise you'll know it's not down right. Alright, that should be good. Alright. Sitting in there flush, which is what we want. Get the button sitting flush. Speaker cover sitting flush. Plug everything back in. All right, and just take your finger on the other cables. Just make sure everything's still plugged in. You can see there's one right there that came undone. So push that in there. All right, everything's good. All right, what we'll do now is we'll plug this back in. We'll actually let's test the LCD. All right, screen's turning on. Yeah, what we just want to make sure is that the touch is still working and the buttons at the bottom are still working. All right. All right, so now we can proceed with putting the cover back on. Take the battery back out. This you want to start at the top because you got the speaker ear hole. You can get in there first. Get the speaker in there, and you start applying a little pressure around the sides. It snaps right in. Let's just put the SIM card back in. Put the screws back in, and we're done. I'm just gonna take a little alcohol and just clean up the back. All right. What I'm gonna do now is put a piece of tape just to keep me from getting the back all dirty. I'm gonna put there like that, and I'm gonna pull this off and clean it up. I'll try just to use alcohol at first, but if there's a lot of glue on there, then we'll need to use some local glue remover. For the most part, this is gonna do it. Yeah, and that concludes our video. I'm doing the Note 2 glass replacement.